To a not so random thought process while I do my makeup. It really is taking all of my energy to sit here to film this. Not because I don't want to film the video, but honestly, I kind of just want a me day, meaning I just want to sit and do absolutely nothing. But that's not about to happen. So, welcome back to my channel. I am Antoinette Evans, and on this channel, I find ways to romanticize my life, elevate my everyday, and maximize my wardrobe. And let me address the very first thing. Welcome to my newly renovated beauty room / content office. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. Maybe the studio, the Antoinette Evans Studios. I don't know. But finally finished painting one of the 4 bedrooms in the house that I am dedicating to my content space, my office space, I'm gonna shoot this day, and this is how I'm gonna lay out my clothes space. It is not fully designed. One of these days I'll give you a room tour, but I have my 2 lights, my 3 lights actually, my rack behind me, a rack on the side. It's not the biggest room in the house. I did take the smallest bedroom in the house because I didn't want to take up too much space. I love her. So we about to have some fun. Yay! Anyway, I'm trying to pull like all the energy out, because one way or another, this video is going to be filmed, okay? But yes, it really is taking all my energy to film this. Again, not because I don't want to. When I did my schedule for the week, I looked at what days do I have off. I normally choose one of the days I have off to do like a full damn near 8 hours of content. And I was looking at my schedule and I was like, okay, how am I gonna make this work? I was looking at my schedule and I was like, all right, I have 2 days off back to back, which I don't typically get. And I said, okay, I wanna find a way to be able to do the content that's on my list at the beginning of every month for the last maybe 3 months. This is about to be hella random, y'all. At the beginning of every month for the past 3 months, I have been writing down, I've been taking a moment to really write out the content that I want to do for that month. Lately, what I've been doing is I will do a shoot once a month, a video shoot and a photo shoot once a month, 3 looks each. Sometimes I use it within that same month. Sometimes I'll extend it to the next month. But it's been working lately. I write out all my ideas, what I'm looking to do, what's in the month, maybe what traveling I may have, things of that nature, and try to figure out what makes sense. What do I have the time and the space for? So that way I know, okay, do I need more time? Do I need props? If I'm going to do like a self photography day, what does that look like? Do I have what I need to do a self photography day? This is the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. It is the blurring primer. I'm going in with products I don't typically use, and I'll explain why. And it's been working. So I already planned out to do content today. I did from maybe about a week or so ago. And the content that I'm doing today, you would have seen on the prior video. And that content is, I'm switching my closet around, right? There's some things that just don't suit me anymore. There's certain things that I just, every time I put it on, I take it off. There's some things I'm like, I don't even leave outside the house with this item on, so why is it holding up space in my closet? The product no longer serves me, so I'm trying to get an understanding to why in the world am I holding on to it if it no longer serves me. So the last video was me really just going through everything in my wardrobe, things that I've worn heavily, things that I still love, I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate. I wrote that down on my content list at the beginning of the month, and I told myself I need a full day in order to do it. She is sweet. I feel like the camera needs to come down. It needs to go back and down a little bit. I feel like I'm looking up. Does that make sense? There we go. Ooh, that's sweet. This is matcha. It tastes better when I make it at home. And instead, I didn't have the powder this time around, so I couldn't make the powder myself. This one is the box one that's like already pre-made matcha. Me not likey. Me not likey, but I'm not a queen of throwing things away, so I'm gonna finish it. For matcha, it's too sweet. My face feels very dry. Now, I know I used the blurring one. Now, again, this is about to be random. So welcome to a not so random thought process while I do my makeup. Today's goal is to use products I don't typically use. I have products here, beauty product wise, that I don't really use. I have like my go-tos, which have been working perfectly, but I have some things I don't normally use that I want to incorporate for today's look, just to see what I can do with it. Do I really like it? Maybe I just don't know my hand at it just yet. One of which is the Laura Mercier blurring. This is the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer Blurring, silicone free. I normally use this on days where I have indoor photo shoots and I don't want too much of a glare. Like, I need my face to be matte. I typically go for something blurring in like the winter time. And then I go in normally with like my YSL primer in spring and summer. This gives me a dewy glow. This and honestly the LA Girl. These two give me a nice gluey dough look for like spring and summer. But for fall and winter, I don't want to be glowing. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. I want my skin to be clear. I still want to have, the glass skin look, but I want to have more of a matte look in fall and winter. So I'm going in with the Laura Mercier today. If I'm being honest, I don't know if I like how it feels on my skin. My skin feels super dry, right? I was going through my list, putting everything together. And yesterday was a day of, I spent time with my dad, went to the gym. I had a meeting. I had like 2 meetings yesterday that I had to do. I was like, all right, let me film some content towards the end of the day. That never happened. That never happened. I never ended up filming at the end of the day yesterday. And that's partly my fault. I should have said no to my last meeting, so that way I had the energy and the time, because afterwards I was just like, at this point, I don't feel like it now. I don't feel like taking the time to do content. And that was my fault, because I had another video I wanted to do, but it's okay. I did part 1 of it last night. I will finish the rest of it today. So today is about to be a very long content filming day. I kind of want to, I don't know if I want to carve out my eyebrows like I normally do, or if I want to go in with the, alright, I'm going to stay with the natural. I like the natural brow than a like penciled in, drawn on brow. So I'm going to go in with, this is mascara, but I do not like this brand mascara on my eyelashes. I prefer it on my eyebrows. It gives my eyebrows more of a flaky, natural, pigmented, it's fully there look. But anyway, I woke up this morning. I opted to not go to the gym today. I normally do the gym every other day. I don't typically go every day. I did go to the gym yesterday. I did abs. That was a good workout. Okay, my ab workout was a lot better than I expected it to be. But I like a day to rest in between. So I told myself, all right, no gym today. I can go to the gym tomorrow before work, which is gonna be tricky because I think tomorrow is legs, and the leg day before I go to work I'm gonna be drained, but this body is not gonna build itself. So I got up this morning, made up in my mind that I'm not gonna do the gym, so I was fine there. Got up, did the usual, used the restroom, checked my phone, make sure I didn't miss any messages, sent my morning messages. And I said, okay, let me get up and actually do some work. I got up, sat behind my computer, and looked at my list for the day of things I need to film, things I need to work on, any projects I need to finish. Mind you, I work a 9 to 5. So I looked at my list and I said, okay, let me get the church stuff done. So got the newsletter done, scheduled it. I got the agenda for tonight's meeting done. I'll send that to the group probably a little bit later today just to confirm that we are still meeting. Got that done and out the way. The newsletter didn't take me as long as I thought. I really thought the newsletter was going to take me longer, but it was actually much shorter. So got the newsletter done and I said, okay, I got time. On my slow mornings, I like to make a big breakfast. Got behind the stove and I was just like, I don't feel like it. I normally like to go in, make a good big breakfast on my days off. It's like a treat to myself. And I stood in front of the stove and I was just like, nope. Nope, I'm not feeling it. I don't feel like making a big breakfast today. And normally on my days off, I like to make homemade pancakes. It might be a boiled egg or a scrambled egg, some type of omelet situation, a little parfait. I go big for breakfast. Breakfast honestly is my favorite meal of the day. But when I sat down to do it, and I was just like, I don't feel like standing at the stove to make breakfast today. And I don't really know what it is. Is this my color right now? Ooh, this is gonna be too dark. That's gonna be too dark. So I think I'm gonna stick with the Laura Mercier. I did the Laura Mercier primer. I think I'm gonna stick with the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer. I typically don't clean up my eyebrows anymore, again, because since I use the mascara, I really don't have to, but I do want to highlight underneath. So I think I'm gonna go with the Laura Mercier as the foundation today. Yeah, I think I want to go with the foundation, but I want to try it with this flat brush and see if that makes a difference. I feel like I should do eyes first. Again, I'm really pushing myself to sit here and do this. Anyway, went in with breakfast, and I was just like, I don't feel like making a big breakfast like I normally do. So what I did instead, I was just like, you know what? Let's just make something nice and light. At least I know I ate something today. At least I know I ate something. So I went with one of my usuals, something I normally do for work. It's like grapes, granola, cheddar cheese, and a banana. I feel like this color is not my color right now, but we're gonna go in with it and hope that it works and blend properly. Oh, it's blending. Okay, it's blending, it's fine. I did go to Jamaica earlier this month. So I think my complexion has darkened a little bit. So this actually might be a slight bit too light. It might be a slight bit too light. But I'm gonna play with it and see what we can do. So, but yeah, I just went with what I normally do for work, especially like when I'm in a rush in the morning and I don't have time to do like a full breakfast. I just did grapes, granola, cheddar cheese, and a banana. And for me, it's enough. It's filling, it's enough, it's healthy, it's hydrating, so I don't feel like crazy hungry afterwards. I'm going with a very, very light hand. I don't want it to be heavy. I know I'm going to be on camera today, but I don't want it to be heavy. I want it to be like light and radiant, but not overly glowy. But it's gonna come together. Okay, it's gonna come together. But yeah, sat down on the couch, looked at some of my notes. I saw what I was able to complete. By now, it's about 10 o'clock. I got up around 7:30 this morning. Again, finished the newsletter. So the newsletter is done. From the newsletter, went in, did my breakfast. Yeah. Did breakfast. I was able to eat something. I sat on the couch a bit and I was like, all right, I have a post I need to do today. Your girl has worked with Kiehl's. Okay. My dream skincare beauty brand, which I will, again, we're going to double back. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But I had to do a voiceover. So that video went up. Again, this video is going to be like 2 weeks behind schedule, right? On purpose. Did that video, posted it, did the voiceover for it, did the caption for it. Everything else was like, all the editing stuff was already done, but I just need to do like the caption because I couldn't think of what I wanted for the caption. I'm gonna go with this in the middle. So what I'm doing is I'm trying with something different for a full face where I'm not doing foundation everywhere. I'm only doing foundation like bottom half, forehead, bridge of my nose. So when I go in to brighten my face, it's not makeup that's caked on top of each other, is what I am alluding to do today, since, you know, it's a content day. Anyway, sat down, I scheduled it on all of my platforms. When I say all, I mean Pinterest, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, and Instagram goes to Facebook and Threads. I do have like a professional Facebook page, but honestly, I don't use the damn thing. I don't really see a benefit in it, so I really don't use it. I post to it very sporadically. Majority of the time, if I'm posting to that Facebook page, it's really because whatever brand I'm working with wants it on Facebook. But I really don't use Facebook. I don't see the benefit for it. But my Instagram page automatically goes to it, but it just goes to my personal Facebook. And that's really for like my grandmas, my spiritual mothers, those that don't really do Instagram or TikTok will see that content on Facebook. So I scheduled it out. I always schedule it for between 3 and 3:30. That's just my time frame now. I used to do 10 o'clock, but I'm like, everyone's at work at 10. By 3 o'clock, the school is out. Parents are picking up their kid. It's usually like your last 15 minutes lunch break before you have to leave for work. Things of that nature. So scheduled for 3 o'clock. And then I was like, oh, by now it's 12. By now it's about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything else. I don't think I like my eyebrows today. I'm not in love with the eyebrows, but we're gonna keep moving. Going in with the Laura Mercier, and let's hope that we don't mess this up. I feel like this should be a different brush. So I sat on the couch and I was just like, Antoinette, you committed to this. I was thinking maybe instead of, that's too much. Instead of doing content today, I was like, maybe I can do content tomorrow before work. So I'm going in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. This is in the shade Saddlewood. This is my color in the dead of winter. This is my color. But I ran out of my concealers. I did an order on Amazon and they sent me the wrong thing. I did a replacement order. They sent me the same wrong thing again. I was like, no. I just need to go to the store and go pick up a concealer. But in the meantime, I'm using foundation as a concealer. I know, but I've been doing this for years at this point. So I'm like, I'm not about to change it. Whenever I run out of one, I just use a foundation, but I let it completely dry down before I do anything else. So trying something different again, foundation on the outside, and then trying to go in with the concealer. So that way it doesn't feel like I'm wearing so much makeup. It don't feel so cakey. And see if I like how this comes out, especially on like filming days. But I'm gonna let it sit so it can dry, because it is very wet right now. But yeah, sat on the couch, and by now it's about 12 o'clock. And in my head, I'm just like, Antoinette, you need to get up. You need to film this content. I was like, oh, maybe I could do it before I go to work. And I thought to myself, I'm like, all right, tomorrow is Thursday. I don't have to be at work until 1. So I have literally until I wake up until about 11:30 to do content. Then I came to what is now my content room, looked around at what it is that I'm looking to film today, and I was just like, girl, there is no way you're gonna be able to get all of this filmed before you gotta go to work. That filming meaning I would have to do a makeup look, because my content does better when I have on makeup. Not saying that when I don't have on makeup, it doesn't do a good job or, doesn't do well. It just doesn't do as well as I would like it to. But when I do have makeup on, it reads so much better. I have residue on here that I want to take off, and I don't feel like getting up. What do I normally not wear? I don't want to get up. What can I rub this on? I'll just rub it on you. That's fine. So I sat down and I was just like, okay, Antoinette, get the energy going. Looked at what I have currently on the rack over here, and I was just like, Antoinette, there is no way you're gonna get all of this done before you gotta go to work. Granted, my lunch will be put together from tonight. I don't know what I'm doing for dinner, but I will figure it out. It's probably gonna be some type of pasta. I did salmon burgers last night, so I don't know if I want salmon burgers again. But it's probably gonna be some type of pasta for dinner tonight once I figure it out. So my lunch will be already ready. Tomorrow, I already have breakfast ready for tomorrow. So it's one of those things where I can just like pick up and go. I don't have to worry about, okay, what am I going to eat? What am I going to bring? I still need to figure out what I'm going to wear. I took my hair out, which you guys have seen on the last video. I need to do my hair before work now because I don't have the locks where I can just shake it and go. I was like, okay, Antoinette, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You are going to have to do the content today in order for it to come out the way you want it to come out. You made a commitment to yourself and it worked. The commitment worked. So thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. That was one of my very first goals for YouTube. Now that I made a very strong commitment at the beginning of this year to stop playing with myself. Stop playing with myself and get the ball rolling. So made it to 1,000 subscribers because of each and every one of you. So thank you. But in order for that to happen, I had to remain consistent. You can't get to a certain goal without being consistent. So I said, okay. So I made shorts, got introduced to the community on YouTube. I was like, okay, well, the days that I post on Instagram and TikTok that are just photos, I want to be able to use that content on YouTube. So they have YouTube like posts that you can do. So I'm like, perfect. I can still remain consistent. So even if I'm not doing a video every single week, because sometimes work is a lot. By the time I come home, I need to decompress. Some of my days off, I'm doing all of my errands on one day because I have to be back at work the next day. Sometimes it's a lot. And I want to be like camera ready. I want to have that energy. I don't want to be on camera dull and tired and you can see all these bags under my eyes. No. So I said, okay. Made a plan to be more consistent. So I said, all right, I need to muster up the energy and sit down in front of this camera today and get this working. Hence why I'm sitting here doing my makeup on camera with all of you. So today's video is really about the beauty of being consistent and the beauty of manifesting. I'm looking at the screen, like the monitor, but I need to be looking at the camera. So I'm looking at you, not the, now I see what content creators are talking about when they're, I don't know what camera to look at. But yeah, the beauty of being consistent and the beauty of manifesting your goals. I was given the opportunity last month, in the month of August, to pick out some products from Kiehl's. It wasn't paid, not a paid collaboration, but honestly, I'm okay. Not everything has to be paid. So I took the opportunity to work with Kiehl's. They sent over some product with no recommendation or no requirement, I should say. I didn't have to post. I didn't have to do, anything according to any deliverables, nothing of that nature. They just sent products, and I've been honestly using Kiehl's ever since I got introduced to it back in 2022. Ever since I got introduced to it, when I say I've been stuck on Kiehl's, I've been stuck. And at first, I was just showing what I love because, again, I love the product that much. I was just like, I'm just going to show it to everyone. And then from showing it to everyone turned into, showing and sharing it online. Not realizing that one day I would actually work with Kiehl's. Now, granted, it is on my manifestation list of brands that I want to work with. Meaning, while I'm on this content creation journey, this is really a hobby for me. It is not my end all be all. It is not my primary source of income. In all honesty, this is a huge stress relief for me. Which sounds strange, right? Because there's a level of work that goes into all of this. But I wanted to take a moment and just say, okay, I don't want to focus on the income side of it. I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun with producing the content. And that's what I've been doing the last couple of months. That, especially the beginning of this year, I changed the direction of what I'm doing to focus more on, I just want to have fun producing the content while I continue building my portfolio. That's my main goal. So Kiehl's reached out, and when I said, I cried, because I was just like, ain't no way. Like, this has to be a joke. And I responded back, I'm like, oh, this is not a joke. They're serious. I was like, okay. And then I got the products and I was just like, girl. And one part of my head said, Antoinette, you need to make this huge. You do a whole commercial and do this and do this. The other part of my head was just like, no, scale it down. Make it organic. Don't go too far left, because then, if I'm being honest, yes, I am consistent, but if I go too far left field and do a whole, like, I reached out to my videographer. It's like, oh, I have a commercial idea I want to do, and this, that, and the third. My house is not 100% put together. There's still areas of my house that I'm working on. I'm kind of taking it somewhat room by room to finish painting and adding this and adding that. And then I got another idea of, Antoinette, just do it naturally. Just do what you would normally do in the morning before you get dressed for work. Just film it. I was like, okay, at least if I do that, I can put the content out sooner than later. So I did. And that video is currently up as of now. Again, I can't tell how it's performing because I don't know. But in my effort of being consistent, I'm not looking at how well is this content performing. I'm looking at, Antoinette, what is your consistency? And with your consistency, what is your engagement? How are you putting out this content and speaking to those that are following you, speaking to possibly future subscribers, future followers? How are you keeping up with that? How are you being organic with that? I still want to create a commercial style video in my home, but that's going to be a different concept. Hopefully by then I'll have certain things put together in my home, so that way as I'm filming in my house, it just won't be empty rooms. But more details to come on that. So I said, okay, I still want to work with Kiehl's. I don't want to say it that way. Even though I've had the opportunity now to work with Kiehl's, I still want to continue to work with them. Not because of a check, but because, in all honesty, I really do believe in the brand. When I started using Kiehl's back in 2022, I moved from Delaware to Florida. My skin didn't know what hit it. Normally, I'm in Florida for like a week, maybe a few days, and then, I'm back to Delaware. I'm back to where the air is a little bit more dry. And I was like, okay, my skin don't know what to do. And I got introduced to Kiehl's, and I was just like, okay, I love this. I absolutely love how my skin is responding to the product, especially in an area that is way more humid. And no matter what area I moved to, Kiehl's pretty much just followed me no matter where I went. And again, I love the response of what it does for my skin. Anyway, I still want to continue working with Kiehl's in some type of capacity. I don't want this to be a one and done. So I wanted it to be more organic. I wanted the content to reflect pretty much what you already see, like a good girl content, a one-on-one, let me tell you about, you know what I mean? Whatever. So that went out. Still on my mood board to continue working with them, but now I need to manifest a little bit differently now that I've actually had the opportunity to work with them. Man, this thing is sweet. Ooh. So boom, I edited, the video was edited, shot all of that, did the voiceover, did the caption, scheduled it. I'm thinking of my day for tomorrow for work, and I'm just like, Antoinette, this ain't gonna work. This is not gonna work in the way that you want it to work. So I'm already using Laura Mercier. I might as well do a whole face of Laura Mercier. So yeah, came into the room and I was just like, all right, I have a very harsh line right here, and I need this line to come down. I need to find a way to blend that, especially since I'm trying something a little different with my makeup. But anyway, so I figured, okay, it's not gonna work for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a different video. Tomorrow is a continuation of a hair video that I'm doing. So sitting down, playing in my makeup, I literally have nowhere to go. If I'm being all the way honest. If I am being all the way honest, I have nowhere to go. There is nothing on my agenda. There isn't a location I have to be at. I'm not doing my makeup because, you know, I'm going to lunch or brunch or after I do content. I'm literally just doing content. But the content that I'm looking to do, the video that you guys will see prior to this one, or before this one, I should say, it reads better when I have a full face on. But I also want to try some of the products that I have I don't typically use. So this gives me an opportunity to kind of play in product that I have that I don't use. Just to see if it's my hand or if it's the wrong color or what. Before I go out and about and embarrass myself in public. So in the art of staying consistent, I was able to actually work with, I feel like I'm not gonna be able to stop saying that. I was able to work with my dream skincare brand. And with that, I now have to go back to the drawing board. Well, not really back to the drawing board per se, but I need to go back and say, okay, now that I'm able to work with one of my dream brands, what's next? How do I want to work with this brand in the future? What does showing up online look like for myself that will help me partner with them again in the future in a different way? Now that I've been able to work with my dream brand, I said, okay, Antoinette, what's next? Not what's next in a way of, you know, I don't know what to do next type of thing, but it's one of those things where I'm like, all right, it's time to take it up a notch. The year's not over yet, which I absolutely love. I'm going in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I do not use this often. Mainly because I don't know how to use it properly. So we are going to test this out properly today in hopes that I can find a way to be able to incorporate it into my routine. I know it very much brightens my under eye. I know that for sure, but I need to figure out my hand. I don't know if I want to use a fluffy brush or go in with a beauty blender. I'm going to use a fluffy brush and hopefully that way I can build maybe. But in the art of being consistent, what I've noticed is my engagement has increased. And if I'm being honest, I stopped looking at the numbers, and I know that's like a sin to do basically. I don't always look at the analytics. I don't always look at, okay, so how many people did I gain? I know I've been losing followers on Instagram specifically over the past 2.5 years. It started to slow down more recently though. And I understand my style has changed. What I'm talking about has changed. I'm not wearing certain things as much anymore. The way I do my content has changed a bit. Again, my topic has changed a bit. And I know with me going through transition, that also means my audience is transitioning, which I'm okay with. So with losing followers on Instagram, I've gained followers on other platforms, but my engagement on Instagram has also increased. So even though I am losing people, I'm losing followers, I'm gaining engagement. And that overall just helps my percentage, which again, I'm okay with. TikTok, now that I've kind of gotten a bit of a rhythm and I've been more consistent, there's some things I put on TikTok that I just don't put on Instagram because TikTok is more organic and friendly than Instagram. Instagram is more, the content has to be perfect. The content has to be perfect on Instagram. If it's not perfect on Instagram, then it just, for me, it flops. It does not perform well if it's not perfect. I think that's all I want to put. Oh, that's pretty. It's really soft. That's really soft. All right, I want to put a little bit more on my nose and then move to another area and come back and do like a slightly heavier layer. But now that I feel like I have a better understanding of my platforms and what works where, I've been more focused on creating content and then figuring out, okay, what platform is this going to? But in my element of creating content, what I've been focusing on as well is what content resonates with me. What do I want to see? And yes, I know I shouldn't really focus on that. It really should be more of a focus on what does my audience want to see? And I do include my audience, but I always tell myself, if I don't enjoy what I'm putting out, how will my audience enjoy it? So with that, I stopped being laser focused on, I need to have a link. I need to have a link. There needs to be an affiliate link so someone can click on it and they can buy it. I'm in a no buy 2025, meaning I'm not buying nothing excessively if I don't need to. It has to be out of necessity. It has to be a reason to why I'm spending money on a handbag or shoes or whatever else. With me buying the house and all the things that come with buying a house, I got 4 bedrooms to furnish, a living room, the kitchen. I didn't buy like the newest build. My house is older. With that comes some additional elements. Woof. Those additional elements cost a pretty penny. So I've been doing a no buy 2025, no clothing, no jewelry, no excessive beauty products. When I'm done with a certain beauty product, I'll replace it or get something else. Just so that way I can have the funds available to take care of the improvements on the home. So I told myself, okay, if I'm taking that step, I don't want to be a salesperson on my platforms. And no offense to any content creator that's out there, I personally just don't want my page to be a ton of ads and affiliate links and go buy this and go buy that, especially if I'm not buying right now. So I've taken a step back on my affiliate links. Is it hurting my pockets? Not really. Yes, but no. I do have money sitting there right now, and I would love to be able to cash it in, but I'm like $30 away from being able to cash it in, but I'm not pressed. I'm not going to push products down anybody's throat for something that I myself am not even buying or utilizing in that way right now. I don't know what that was. So in taking a step back from my LTK to focus on creating more engaging content, more content that is geared towards, like getting people talking, getting people to comment, doing more calls of action, doing more, what do you think? Or help me decide, or this is something I'm working on. Or any photos that I drop, again, just, having more calls to action, bringing back the fun in creating content and not worrying about, is this product still available for me to link it to get somebody to purchase it? That's not my focus. So since I've been more consistent with what resonates well with me, it's been working. And I'm really taking the time to enjoy it. And I have to say, I really do enjoy it more. I really do enjoy where this journey is going. This is about to be a really natural, full face type of beat. So I say all that to say, there is an art in manifesting. I know everyone at the top of the year, everybody wants to take time to talk about their goals and write their goals down and say, this is what I'm manifesting and this is what I'm working on and I want to be a millionaire and I want this, that, and the third, which is nothing wrong with any of those elements. But then I always have to circle back and say, all right, you have these goals, you have this vision of where you see yourself and what you want to do, but what in the world are you doing to actually do it? What are you doing to put the action behind it to become a millionaire this year? While you're becoming a millionaire this year, what are you doing to sustain it so you can become a $2 million person next year, a $3 million person the year afterwards? You see what I'm saying? It's cool to make a goal. It's cool to write things down and say, this is what I want for myself. But what are you actually doing to put action behind it? What are you doing to put measurable aspects behind it? I told myself at the beginning of the year and the beginning of the month, I want to grow my platforms in a way where I'm growing my portfolio, I'm growing my network. I don't want to become the newest content creator. For me, that's a dead end. I want to become, I have a career goal of where I'm trying to get to, and I need to create a platform. Thankfully, I live in an area where there are other creatives, there are other companies that I can tap into. But in order for me to tap into them, in order for any of that to come forth, I have to have a portfolio. I have to have a body of work. If I don't have a body of work, I can't go to them and say, this is what I've already done. This is a marketing plan that I worked on for such and such company. This is the deliverables I received from said company. This is how I was able to interpret it, create a creative direction behind it, work with photographers. This is what I was able to do in front of the camera, behind the camera. This is how I was able to keep up and deliver XYZ. I can't go to, I can't network with others without having that willpower, without having that strength, without having that level of portfolio to show what I've been able to do and to show what I'm capable of continuing to do, or ways that I've been challenging myself to increase my talent hand. One reason why I'm sitting here doing my makeup, going absolutely nowhere, talking to you guys, this is a level of practice. I am practicing my makeup hand for that time where I'm going to need it. This is a full face of Laura Mercier. I'm not promoting the brand in a way. I would love to work with them in the future. It is one of the brands on my list that I would love to work with makeup wise, but I need to start doing more fall inspired looks for some of the content I have coming up. I am very good with a clean 5-minute face, but my full face makeup still needs practice. This is manifesting. This is practice. Even though I'm taking it off right afterwards, actually no. I'm filming a video, filming another video, filming one more video, and then I'll take it off. But again, there's a level of practice that goes with this, so I can understand my makeup hand. I can understand what's working from what's not. Maybe it's the color that I chose. Maybe online the color looked one way, but on me the color looks a little different. Maybe it's the makeup brush that I'm using. Did I clean my makeup brush properly last time and there's residue left over? Or am I using the wrong brushes altogether to create the look that I'm trying to create? You see what I mean? Manifesting is about creating actionable steps that you are going to actually follow through with. You can't land your dream job without getting the resume. You can't land your dream job without applying for the job. You also can't land your dream job without coming to the interview prepared, knowing possibly what questions they're going to answer. Knowing possibly what questions they're going to ask, and with the questions that they're asking, how exactly are you going to respond to those questions? Do you have the know-how? Do you have the understanding of what they're asking for to be able to execute it on a regular basis? Oh, that's pretty. It's nice and subtle. I do want to go in, however. The nose, I want to bring the nose forward a little bit more. I want to add a little bit more dimension, so I'm going to go back in with the Laura Mercier. Now, I'm not saying that I haven't reached all of my goals. Do I want to do eyeshadow? I kind of want to just keep it clean. I don't really want to do eyeshadow. I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty. I know that this is a setting spray, but I want it on my eyelids. So I'm going to use a brush that I know is dirty. I know. It has like a reddish tone to it, so let's see if it's gonna mix somehow. But yeah, I haven't achieved all of my goals. There are still elements and things that are on my list, my manifestation list, my goals list for the year, that if I'm being honest, I haven't even started yet. But the element of start really comes from a completion of something else. Meaning, if you want to live a healthier lifestyle, you first need to start with a few things. Are you exercising and working out? What does your safe space look like? What does your routine look like? Do you have a gym routine? Do you have an eating routine? What are you eating? What are you putting into your body? You want to have a snatched body, but are you going to Chick-fil-A every day? Are you going to Moe's every day? Are you eating out every day? Or are you incorporating home-cooked meals with smaller portions? Are you finding ways to be able to get up and be active 3-4 times a week? Did you get a gym membership? Did you enroll yourself, well, not enroll, but did you join like a walk club or a run club or a high intensity workout class 2 days a week? What are you doing to be able to create that healthy lifestyle? Yes, you have a goal. Yes, you are manifesting what that looks like for your future, but what are you doing to take actionable steps to actually have a healthy lifestyle? That is one thing I have been harping on for years. For years. If there's certain brands I want to work with, what am I doing to position myself to be able to work with those brands? If there's certain places that I want to travel to, what am I doing to position myself to be able to travel to those locations? If I want to be able to work for myself in the future, what does working for myself actually look like? What is the longevity of working for myself? Am I going to go from one industry to another industry to another industry to another industry just to say that I'm self-employed? Or can I create a level of longevity in a certain field where I am maximizing my level of talent, I am maximizing my hand to be able to say, I work in fashion, but I work in fashion in these aspects. And as I work in fashion and I continue to do it, I'm able to add another notch to the belt within the same industry. That's longevity. You see what I mean? I am manifesting the life I want to live by taking actionable steps right now to figure, ooh, that is pretty, to figure out how exactly am I going to become the best version of myself. Whether that's a corporate baddie or whether that is by an independent contractor. Or can I do both? Can I be a corporate baddie and work a 9 to 5 with the company that I really do love, and I love to get up every day to go to work, but I'm also able to create a space for myself to create content. Be able to create a space for myself to be able to travel. You know, it's like there's all those different elements to think of, but without actionable steps, it's not gonna happen. So if I were to say, okay, Antoinette, girl, I know you're tired. You worked the last 5 days in a row. Was it 5? Yeah, you worked the last 5 days straight. As much as you wanted to take some time off and, take a break, you didn't. You just, you kept going. You kept showing up. You kept being your authentic self. Antoinette, you deserve a day. You deserve a day to sit down and do nothing and put your feet up and eat cookies and watch TV, knowing that you started this month off strong. You had a list of goals and content ideas that you wanted to do, but because you took the lazy route, none of it got done. Had I taken the lazy route, I wouldn't have been able to work with my dream beauty brand. That wouldn't have happened. So I had to find a way to get out of the lazy feeling, get out of the feeling of, oh, I don't feel like doing this, muster up the energy, sit here, talk to you guys, film this video, knowing that I'm gonna have to charge my camera because she is now at 45%, change my clothes, do my hair, get ready for the next video that I want to do, change my clothes again, charge the camera, get ready for the third video that I want to do, change my clothes again, and start the fourth video for the day, knowing that I'm not going to finish that until tomorrow, but there's steps. You see what I'm saying? I am manifesting the life I want to live by taking actionable steps right now. I'm just using a brush, using a fluffy brush just to kind of clean everything up and wipe everything away, because I feel like I'm pretty much done and I don't want to do too much more and mess anything up. So I say all of that to say there is beauty in being consistent. There is beauty in manifesting the life you want to live. There is beauty with finding out what actionable plans work for you, what routine works for you, what structure works for you. How can you show up every day as your authentic self to be able to work on whatever goal it is you have set for yourself? And everybody's goal is different. The way people go about what they want to do is different. How I may see something is different than how someone else is going to see it. And there's beauty in that. I need to close these windows because the AC is still on, but I wanted some fresh air to kind of come in here. And I get it, windows open and AC on. Antoinette, you're not heating the outside. I get it, but I want some fresh air. So I'm about to get up and close it. But my charge for each and every one of you is to think of what works, what is going to work, and what doesn't. And if it's something that doesn't work, that is a part of your routine, pluck it out. Do away with it. You don't have to keep up with something if it isn't working. Figure out, now granted, there is a difference between it's not working versus you are not consistent enough to allow it time to be able to work. There is a difference between the two. If something isn't working, you'll know. You may need to change your space, change the level of friends you have that's around you. You might need to change your environment. You might need to create a safe space in your environment. There's different things, there's different elements of a reason to why something may not be working. And that's okay. But it takes time to identify what that is and to actively work towards making that change. All right, I need some color. This is a lipstick, I know, but I want more of a burgundy color. I don't want like a red blush color. I really hope this comes out the way I want it to come out and I didn't just mess up my face. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. And that's subtle. That's super fall. Okay, yeah. Oh, I was worried that I just messed up my whole face, but I think I put too much on the other side. Ooh, that's pretty. So now I feel like I want to take pictures today, but I don't have a concept to take pictures. Nor do I have an outfit really. I mean, I could create one. I could do a video. I have a concert this weekend. I still don't know what I'm wearing. I could do a video about some concert ideas now that my face is put together. And I really do like how this is coming out. I'm not gonna do a lip. I wanna go with no lip today. But that was it. That was it. In all honesty, the moral of the story is, what are you doing to position yourself? What are you doing to stay consistent? What are you doing to show up as your authentic self on an everyday basis? What does that look like? And I can't answer that for you. And I don't expect you to have an answer for me. And I'll be honest, some people, they'll have an answer right now. Like they know exactly what's causing them not to be as consistent as they want to. It might be your household has too many people in it, meaning your home is always busy. So then I would challenge you and say, find a time in your home where it's quiet. Where even though, yes, there's a lot of people, yes, your home may be busy, but what is a time frame in your home that is quiet enough for you to be able to get the level of work that you need to get done? How can you challenge yourself to not create an excuse to why you can't do something? How can you challenge yourself to say, this is a goal that I have. These are the elements that are in my way, but even with these elements, I'm still gonna find a way to succeed. I'm still gonna find a way to say, okay, this might be causing me a little bit of a headache right now, but maybe filming at 10 o'clock at night would be best. Maybe doing those newsletters at 4 o'clock in the morning when it's nice and quiet and you can think would be best. Or like me, you work a non-traditional 9 to 5. What schedule can you create for yourself where you can show up authentically every day to create content? Or maybe your goal isn't to create content and it's to just be the best version of yourself. What does being the best version of yourself look like? How are you showing up every day to be that best version of yourself? All questions for you to ask yourself. And if you're not really sure where to start, look, ChatGPT is a beast, okay? You can put in some questions into ChatGPT and say, hey chat, how can I be consistent? But make it relatable to you. You have to be specific, even with ChatGPT. You have to be specific to what you're asking it for. If there are certain things that are causing you to be inconsistent, throw it in there. ChatGPT and I go a long way, okay? If I get a mind block, I get a mind fog, I can't think straight, and I need help to figure out XYZ, I'll throw it in there. Now, granted, I'm not throwing it in there for me to use it completely, but I'm throwing it in there to say, okay, I need help to think through this process. I need help to think through a level of ideas. And then go through and funnel those ideas out and figure out, can this work for me? And you can do the exact same thing when it comes to being consistent. You can do the exact same thing when it comes to manifesting your goals. Ooh, I put too much product in my hair. Oh, I love my natural hair. Love my natural hair, and I can't wait to wash it, get some of this product out, and do some nice chunky curls. Oh, it looks so pretty. I think I got all of it. Here, but I'm just gonna fluff it up a bit, but I do want to go in and separate some of the curls. Yeah, so my ultimate charge for everyone is to figure out, what does that level of consistency look like? In all honesty, there is beauty in being consistent. There really is beauty in being consistent. My body is changing because I am being consistent. My workmanship is changing because I'm being consistent. Granted, I may not be where I want to be content-wise or followership-wise, if that's the right word to say. I may not exactly be where I want to be, but I am better off now than where I was. I'm better off now than where I started. And if I keep up with my level of consistency, if I keep up with my posting schedule, I keep up with the type of content that I'm putting out, I keep up with the authenticity that I have been delivering, sky's the limit to what can happen next. But if I fall off, and everybody falls off for different reasons. It could be health issues, it could be something going on in the family, mental health issues or concerns. There's so many different elements to what can cause someone to be inconsistent. But then there's also beauty in being resilient. There's beauty in pressing through. There's beauty in figuring out, okay, so if this didn't work, what can? How can I continue moving towards whatever that next step is in my level of consistency with whatever I'm doing? Ooh, I have a knot. It's all about showing up. For those asking, I did take my hair out. I had locks in. I realized I love the ease of locks, but there was something about it. It just didn't feel like me. The locks weren't carrying a voice that I thought it was going to carry. And I love my natural hair. I love the kinks and the coils. I love playing in my hair and coming up with new hairstyles and playing with like different African hairstyles within my natural hair. Like this, I put in a deep protein mask yesterday while I was taking it out, and I just left it. I left it overnight. Yes, there is some residue, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with the residue while I film. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with the residue while I film, but I love the beauty. Look, the curls are just, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. But yeah, I'm gonna figure out what to do with my hair. But anyway, that is it for today's video. Moral of the story for today's video, there is beauty in consistency and manifesting. Create a plan, stick with the plan, make actionable steps according to your plan, and just keep moving forward. And you will be surprised where you will end up if you remain consistent. But until next time, I'm Antoinette Evans. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.